Alright, back again, Luke here. And today what I thought I'd do is make a video that I don't think I've made before. And that is just a first impressions video about the new Luigi Mansion 2 that I just picked up here on the 20th. And if you saw some of the other videos that I put up and enjoyed them, I'm glad. I just made those videos just to show you guys a little bit of what the intro of the game looks like. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff out there on the net or on YouTube to show a little bit of the intro or, you know, kind of the walking around game mechanics and things like that. And I just want to show a little bit of that at the beginning. All of that stuff was definitely, you know, as soon as I put up the video, it was like, oh, copyright claimed by Nintendo. I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm just putting this up so people can see what the game looks like, you know. Now I start to sound like Steve Benway. But, yeah, I just, you know, I want to give you guys a little bit of a look at it. And, you know, from my perception as well, at the same time, just going, oh, you know, what does this look like? You know, so we both have kind of similar experience. It's not like me putting in the game a couple of times and then seeing what it's like and then, you know, oh, okay, now let's turn on the video and, you know, show you guys what, you know, exactly I'm feeling or what I've seen so far. You know, it's just one of those spur-of-the-moment type things, so I thought I'd do that. So, but yeah, Luigi Mansion 2, or Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, as it's known, or as it's going to be known around the other parts of the world, is a pretty fun game. I'm pretty locked into it. I've been playing it pretty much nonstop for like 8 hours or so, and I was reading in the comments, also a huge thanks to everyone for the comments. Comments just kind of got like pretty out of control, so I thought, okay, there's no way I could respond to all these, so I'll just do it in a video. But pretty awesome, so I appreciate that. But the game itself, there were a couple of things that people had mentioned about the music in the game and how it was kind of irritating. And, you know, after playing it for about 8 hours or so, yeah, 8 or 9 hours, you can start to think, okay, yeah, this is a little bit frustrating, or, you know, it'd be nice if they changed the music just a little bit. But more or less, the game, you know, it's great. It's a lot of fun to play. There'll be some interesting parts of the game if you've never played Luigi's Mansion, the first Luigi's Mansion, before. You'll be kind of surprised with the game, probably. If you have played the first one, you'll still be kind of surprised because there are a lot of hidden, kind of cool hidden things, hidden parts. I don't want to give away too many spoilers to it, but there is, yeah. If anybody here is, you know, someone who doesn't like to listen to parts of a movie or parts of a game before you play it, then you might want to stop the video, because I don't want to destroy that for you, destroy any of your, you know, kind of first impressions yourself. But there are a lot of power-ups in the game. You know, there's much more than the first one, and it's kind of cool to see some of the different power-ups that you can get and how they react in the game. And, you know, one of those being your vacuum cleaner has a few power-ups, and your flashlight has a couple of power-ups as well. Lots of hidden stuff in the game. They've taken the level of difficulty and they've ramped it up just a little bit and made it much more challenging. Not only with trying to find different items, that's challenging in itself, but on top of that, they have a, at the end of the stage, they have a grid where they chart your time, how long it took you to complete the game, how many ghosts you found, how many times you've gotten hit in the game, how much gold you found, and if you found like other secret things. You know, I'm not going to try and explain too much. But then they give you a score at the end. Now, the scores are basically on like a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star kind of system. If you do the game really, really well, I haven't been able to get more than 3 stars so far, but and that's really, really trying hard. That means that you're going throughout the game, you're doing a lot of exploration throughout the different stages, but not only the exploration part, you're not getting hit. And as easy as that may sound, you know, with some of the ghosts and stuff, when you go to kind of attract them in and then, you know, catch them with your vacuum cleaner, there's other ghosts around you that are throwing stuff at you. You know, they're trying to intentionally hurt you, and you can avoid some of that for the most part. But the worst part that I found in the game is the rodents or the insects or the creatures on the ground. Now these things are ruthless, and the way that it works is at the end of the stage, if you receive no damage, you get a pretty good score. But as hard as you try, sometimes in some stages they'll have like different ghosts. So they might have some of the like easier ghosts that are really easy to drag in. They might have ghosts that are throwing stuff at you, and then they'll have mice on the floor. And as you're trying to like pull in one of the ghosts, one of the mice will come along and hit your feet and knock you over, and then you'll lose like 5 damage, and then that's it. You can't complete that stage with a perfect. And generally, I mean, these stages, like, to go through one stage, it might take you like, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes or 25 minutes. And what I found for me in most of the cases is that I could get through all the stage perfectly and then get up to the last part where I needed like one last item, and it would be in a room surrounded by ghosts and mice on the floor. And here I am, I'm trying to attract the ghosts and, get them in the vacuum cleaner, and then all of a sudden, a mouse will come along, swoop me under my feet, and I'll lose 5 health, and then I'll complete the game, and it'll be the exact same score as I had before, and if I were to get a perfect on it, it would actually go up 1 rank, but that's what I found to be the most frustrating so far. But a lot of dialogue, a lot of, at the intro, if you guys saw the video that I put up, there's a pretty long introduction to it, and even between stages, if you want to, for example, when you go into the next stage, you have to go back into the laboratory, and then there's much more talking again. But if you press the start button, it'll say press start to skip. So you can skip it, but in some cases, you kind of want to read what's going on, and then, they give you a little bit of advice or a little bit of hints, and then, it's some important parts to the game. If you're really trying to get in-depth with the game, if you're one of those casual kind of gamers who just wants to blow through it and try and, clear each stage as quick as possible and then get to the end and complete the game, then that's a totally different story. I mean, you don't even have to worry about this, but I think for a lot of people out there, they like to see what, what's going on, what's being said. And in some cases, it can take quite some time, so you're just like hitting the button, yes, 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 going on and on and on. But that does take quite some time. But yeah, there's some cool, what else can I say? Besides the power-ups and, the initial stage, the initial castle, or the initial building that you're in, is basically set up kind of like, the original Luigi's Mansion. Has that whole kind of classic vibe to it. Everything about it just seems like the original. Now, when you go on to the next buildings, once you clear the first one, and yes, there are multiple buildings in the game, to play, once you go on to the next one, then it ramps up the difficulty quite a bit. So that's one of those places where you start to see, wow, okay, now this looks like a little bit of a new game. These look like a little bit of some new concepts to the game. I'm starting to like this. It's not all about attracting the ghosts in and, just pulling the life out of them. From the second part on, or towards the end of the first building, you start to realize, okay, there's a little bit more involved in this game than just the simple regular, shine the flashlight and try and suck the life out of them. This is a little bit more complicated, and you have to use a little bit more puzzle-solving skills, and it really kind of gets you more and more interested in the game. So that's one thing that I really liked about it, and it's hard to put down. Once you get into it, you really want to just keep going. You want to keep plugging along until the end. You want to try and get every single stage as perfect as you can, and when you can't do it, and you start thinking to yourself, oh man, you know what, I want to go back and try that again. You start doing a stage 3 times in a row at 16 minutes or 17 minutes each, and then you start to go, whoa, wait a second, alright, I've already spent like an hour on this stage here, and I'm still not clearing it, exactly with everything that I need. What's going on? Well, there's lots of different secrets in the game, lots of different hidden parts, and I think that for those of you guys out there who are into the Luigi Mansion games or into puzzle-solving games, you're definitely going to be interested in this one if you haven't played it already. And I know there's a few people out there with children who have, young daughters, and I know Electric Adventures was talking about, oh man, maybe my daughter will, take it away from me and things like that, but This is definitely one of those games that's going to be fun for the whole family, because the game itself has a multiplayer option, and you can play, I believe it's up to 4 players, and you can go throughout the game in a multiplayer kind of fashion. It's something that you have to unlock. It's not super difficult to unlock. I think it's one of those things that eventually, as you progress through the first building, you will eventually be able to unlock it. But yeah, it does have that feature, so that's kind of cool. I would show you some of it. I just don't want to get this video blocked for copyright as well. It just seems like it's one of those things right now where yeah, a lot of the new games that are coming out, they're really, really picky about, you know, how much you show, what you show, things like that. But yeah, what else am I leaving out? There's some kind of power-ups that will bring you back to life, which are kind of cool. Like, if you're in a section and you're just getting pummeled, which there are some places where you might actually wind up finding yourself dying, which is kind of hard to believe because, you know, throughout the original game, I didn't find myself dying so much as I was getting frustrated trying to find different stuff that I couldn't find. But in this one here, they throw some parts at you where you're like, okay, I can't get out of this. What am I supposed to do? And then you're trying every single way possible to kind of get through it. And by experimenting like that, you might find yourself dying a couple of times. But if you get some items in the game, I'm trying to be as vague as possible here, you will wind up being able to come back to life in the same spot with full health, and it'll allow you to, you know, keep exploring, but you need to find this specific item in order to do that. But that's, I mean, those are just some of the great things about the game. A lot of the game is based on money, so you want to try and collect as much money as you can in the game, because the money is the way that you get the power-ups for the vacuum cleaner and for the flashlight itself. So just keep on that. Make sure that you try and get it as much money as you can. Looking around the room in all different angles, like up, down, in corners, everything that you can possibly imagine that can be taken from a room or can be checked in a room. You really got to do it in every single stage, in every single mission, because if you don't, each mission has a different objective. So in one area you may have checked it the first time around and found absolutely nothing, but the second time around with the second mission, there's actually a whole lot more that you have to do in that room, and there's a lot more that's hidden. So by checking it again, you can actually find more stuff. So it's a lot of backtracking for sure, but there is a lot of benefit to the game itself. It's one of those games where you're not going to complete straight off the bat. It's not one of those games that you're going to quickly rush through and go, you know, this was disappointing. If anything, you probably might get a little bit frustrated with all the backtracking that you have to do, but in that case it gives you a really good idea of which parts you've missed, which parts you've completed, which parts you need to go to, or which parts you haven't really checked out so much. So by checking around the whole place, you know, multiple times, you start to go, oh, okay, I'm really familiar with this building. And then they throw you into another one, and you're going, oh man, you know, now I got to get used to this. Now where is everything, you know? There are some hidden ghosts, the Terasa, in each stage that you have to find, and they are tricky. They are very tricky to find. But yeah, it's, you know, all around, I find it really enjoyable. Some people had asked about the 3D. So when you turn the 3D on, it, you know, it's pretty cool. I mean, let me try. I haven't really tried many of the stages here in 3D, but I have tried, you know, just the introduction area in 3D, and it does have a really cool depth look to it. But let's see. I'm trying to do this so I'm not, you know, giving away too much, or by not copywriting anything. But yeah, inside the building, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, the 3D seems to work out all right. It looks okay. It does definitely hurt the eyes just a little bit to look at it in 3D, but it does look a little bit cooler to be able to see it in 3D. And in fact, you know, I don't know. Maybe there might be some places where you have to have the 3D on in order to to do the game. I seriously doubt it, but you know, nowadays with some games, they actually are trying to push the technology to where you're not only playing it with the original, you know, controls or the original, the basic mode. You're playing it with the controls that the system has developed or for it, or the controls that the developer wants you to use. So one good example, for example, what is it? Super Mario Kart for the Wii. Now with Mario Kart for the Wii, you could play it with the regular GameCube controller, but you could also play it with the Wii remote. And that was to kind of, I think, balance out those who were interested in trying out the new Wii remote with the driving, you know, situation, and those of us who are really used to having a hardwired controller that we can't, you know, we can't turn left and right. I mean, that's a habit that we actually had to break when we were younger, when we were trying to figure out how to, you know, how to play a game like Super Mario Brothers. Like, well, if I turn it like this, why doesn't he move? And then they're like, oh, hey, you know what? About, you know, 20, 30 years later, let's reintroduce that thing. And then you're going, wait, no, that's a habit that I tried to break. Now you're trying to, what? Give me a bad habit, you know? So, but, you know, and then on the other hand, when you start to take a look at, what is it, Zelda and Skyward Sword, I mean, that was all about using the Wii remote, but I mean, it was like specifically using it in like, okay, this is for a slash, a mid slash, and this one's for a high slash, you know, and they were trying to incorporate all that. So I don't know, it would be interesting in a in a bad way if you had to use the 3D, just because, you know, it does play a little bit of havoc on your eyes after a while. But yeah, all in all, I'm sure this video must be super long right now with me rambling, but all in all, a lot of awesome stuff inside the game. A lot of awesome features. You can take a look at the back here. I'll show you a little bit of the back. This is the Japanese version, so you guys can take a look at it here. This one can be used with the Nintendo Network, so it's a kind of cool feature. Hopefully this isn't too slow or too fast. Or too wobbly here for you guys. But just so you guys can take a little bit of a look at it there. And like I'd mentioned, you know, it does have a 4-player function to it, multiplayer, so it's going to be a lot of fun for the whole family. It has 3 save files on it, so if you and other family members want to do that, get into the game, you can all play on your different save files. It does have the inside here. I don't know if I showed that before, but it does have kind of a cool look there with the ghosts in the background, and the giant Tarasaw there with the purple diamond on his head. But that's the intro. That's the inside of the book itself. And if we take this one out, you guys can see this in more detail here. So it looks pretty awesome on the inside. And I know there are some people out there that really like this stuff. For example, Van Buren 20 really likes the insides of these inserts for the games. So this one looks pretty awesome with all the different ghosts in there. You'll encounter every single one of these ghosts, you know, and some of them in here, some of these are kind of boss characters, so it's kind of cool. And you know, some of them are just ruthless, just really, really ruthless as far as you know. The ghosts are picking up more and more items now and using those items against you, so it's not just as simple as trying to drag them in and, you know, hit them. Sometimes you have to wait until they try to attack you, and then you have to counterattack, and then, you know, drag them in, and it's a lot more complex, so. But yeah, just wanted to share with you guys my first impressions here for the game, and I know it's gotten a little bit long here as far as the video goes, but all in all, I say it's a really good game, and I think that it'll definitely be worth the money that you spend on it. And as far as I've been informed here, according to other people here on YouTube who were talking about the release and how much it would cost in the US and the UK, this one here in Japan cost, I think it was 4,400 yen, or maybe it was 4,600 yen, 4,600 yen for the game. So I guess it roughly equals out to about, what, $50 or so, US. So it's quite expensive, considering I heard that the US release was, what was it, $39? Maybe the UK one was it, how much was that? The UK one was £27 or something. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember exactly when I saw it, but yeah, I mean, for the money, it's definitely worth picking up, and I totally recommend it. But yeah, that's about enough rambling for me, and once again, thank you guys for checking the videos. Thank you all for the comments, and sorry I haven't been able to respond to the comments on the last few videos. I just slapped the videos up and went to sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, you know, I left the PC on because it was a lot of time for uploads, having 4 videos kind of in waiting. And then, yeah, when I woke up, I was like, okay, there's a lot of comments on this stuff, so it's hard to respond. But yeah, huge thanks to you guys for that. And there'll be lots of retro goodness here coming soon, as always. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching. Woo! And we'll take a look here. Yep, we just got the original setup here going with no memory card in it. Nothing. I don't even think I have a controller hooked up for it. But yeah, I'm sure you guys watched the intro here before as well. But yeah, kind of awesome. I don't know if they have any kind of like what is it, copyright stuff on this one as well, but yeah. On the other one here, I just decided to throw in some Harry Potter for the other GameCube, and yeah, you guys can see a little bit of that. Yeah, it's one that I never made a video on, but I never made a video on any of the Harry Potter ones that I have. But yeah, so thanks again, guys.